Striker Scorpion 82 is now sponsored by Warhammer Combat Cards, a card battle game featuring your favourite Citadel miniatures from the 40k universe. Build your army decks, dominate opponents in player versus player action, collect and upgrade cards to fit your strategy, improve their power and unlock unique traits. Choose from all 40k factions, take part in campaigns based on iconic 40k battles, rise to the top of the leaderboard and win glory. Free to download and play, link is in the video description below or on the channel homepage, and by using the unique link it helps support the channel. Thanks and enjoy the game. Right, welcome to this update video for the channel. I'll cover the YouTube and then the Plus channel as well. It's quite a lot to cover, all sorts of different things going on. This will be an update for the channel and it's going to be a faction update as well, so you get an idea of what's going on with all the different factions on the channel. Including the secret project number 2, I'm running about 14 armies at the moment, so it's quite a large number of armies to keep updated and so on. Chapter approved 2019 has come out, so I'm running through the different lists and adjusting them, changing them around, getting them updated with the new points, adding in new units, taking units away and so on, just to get them ready for the new season. Season 8, we hope to go ahead with that, and some changes with that as well, which I'll cover in this video. Just jotted down some of the things to cover. I'll work through these as quick as I can and then we'll get on to the update here for the factions also. But these videos just here and there throughout the year, just to give you an idea of what's going on, and especially if improvements, started to make some improvements towards the end of the year. You can see the graphics overhaul there with YouTube, and then the Plus channel, moved that over to a different website, and all of the work behind that's now up and running, going quite smoothly at the moment. So first thing I'm going to mention is merchandise here. I have set up a Teespring store, so that's for t-shirts and hoodies, mugs and stickers and phone covers and all of those kind of accessories. That's all up and running. There's a link on the channel homepage, or you can go to the link in the description of this video below, go to the store at Teespring, and then you're able to get a hold of some Striking Scorpion 82 merchandise from there. So you can get t-shirt and hoodie and all different accessories. That's all available and ready to go. Then I've started to use the YouTube community page. So if you're on your phone or on the desktop, you've got the homepage with all of the normal videos and so on. Then you can scroll along and then there's the community page, and there I've been putting up some posts asking people different questions through the polls that you can do, putting up images, updates, telling people when videos are released, sharing painting projects and so on. So it's a very convenient way and a great way of sharing with people, and the response has been fantastic. I mean, some of the polls that I've been asking, it's like 1,500 responses from people asking people about different questions, what direction we should go with different battle reports and so on. So if you're not aware of that already, it's another resource for you to keep in touch, to get an idea of what's going on, and even to leave your own comments and feedback, and take part in the voting that goes on for the different items on the channel. For example, we switched back from the new Apocalypse rules. I asked people in a poll which they prefer, and it was a bit of a landslide. People want the regular 40k rules, not the new rules. So I think we're going to be dumping this one. It's okay to play. It's not really for that reason. It's really for, it's a struggle to film battle reports with this system here. It's alternate detachments and the video jumps about all over the place, moving from one side to the next, and you lose a lot of the depth as well, we found. So we filmed the Fall of Damnos. If you haven't seen it already, that Apocalypse battle report has been out for a few weeks now. We really enjoyed playing it. Got straight into the game because I knew the rules, regular 40k, and it was enjoyable. All the details there, excellent. Still a large scale gameplay, 6,000 points, a nice big battle, and I think it's made for a better video as well. And even our Apocalypse games have changed the style around with those a little bit, gone more narrative with them, and we plan to play some of the famous battles from 40k lore and narrative. So again, maybe in the comment section, if there is, I may be asking in a poll as well on the community page, but hints and suggestions for future narrative Apocalypse, feel free to leave those ideas in the comment section below. Even if I don't reply to your comment, I'll read it and see it. I get an idea of some of the famous battles and campaigns from the 40k universe that we could possibly play. So Apocalypse is out here, and it'll be regular 40k from now on. I think it just makes for better videos. Then Instagram's still running. Great way of keeping updated. It's a good backup just in case something goes wrong with YouTube. I've got Instagram, I can keep in touch with people that way. It's very handy for me to take pictures of like work in progress and what I'm painting up. Take a picture, put it on Instagram. I take slides, multiple pictures of battle reports, like in game, so you get an idea of the battles there as well. So you're not on Instagram already, not following me on Instagram, it's just Striking Scorpion82, and you can follow me on Instagram just there. It's great, it's a very visual platform, fantastic for sharing photographs and pictures and updates with people from there. So I mentioned Apocalypse already, really enjoyed that Fall of Damnos, and even having it as narrative, I'm trying to think of the storyline, sticking to the storyline, made the game more enjoyable to play. It's amazing how you get rewarded for trying to stick to the narrative in 40k. Just enjoy it a whole lot more, and your imagination runs wild with all that's taken. You know, you're reading the storyline and then you're seeing it played out on the gaming table as well. So hope to do more of those. And there is the possibility, I've been discussing it, Damnos was retaken, and it was taken back by the Primaris Marines being sent in later on. So that's a possibility. The return to Damnos, or the recapture of Damnos, may well be a future installment, possibly. Okay. So yeah, then I've been asking questions about the league. We run a league with the armies. That's how we get through to the final. Who gets through to the final? It was Tau versus Death Guard. It was the final two armies. Started to develop that over the last few seasons, but seeing the need for a better structure with it, so I'm going to propose a better way of running the league. It's all quite experimental, but this year could be a lot better structured and a lot fairer as well on the different factions. So I mean, this year, for example, season 7, Orcs played 12 games, Necrons played about 2, and it's not really fair. I'm sort of playing armies that I'm enjoying and so on, but I then went to look at maybe a knockout league and do a straight draw, but that's proved to be difficult. I've been theorising how to do it. A straight draw is awkward because you end up with a lot of Imperial armies playing against Imperial. Didn't really want that, and logistically difficult because the players that are going to take part aren't all near each other, so that's going to be awkward as well. And then the availability of armies being revamped and painted up. Some armies that I'm going to enter aren't really quite ready at this stage, so I didn't want to have a backlog of fixtures waiting, and then it just spoils the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a blend of the two. I reckon this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do a league at the start, and then we'll take the top either 8 or the top 16 armies and then put them into a knockout at the midway or 2/3 of the way through the season. So you're going to get a blend of both. You're going to get a league, which you can work your army up and down depending on the victories that they get, and then we'll glean the top either 8 or 16, depending on what time we have left, and then they'll go into the playoffs, and then we'll get a final champion for the channel on season 8. I think that's the way we're going to do it, and it does mean that it's going to push me to get armies finished, armies that have been on the back burner. I need to accelerate and get them onto the battlefield. So armies like the Imperial Knights, for example, the Drukhari, which I'm painting up at the moment, get the Blood Angels revamped, the Harlequins, which I've been building the entire army at the moment, so I hope to get those up and running as well. And it just gives me the incentive just to push on and get those armies onto the battlefield. The great advantage of that is more variety, and I enjoy it as well, because I'll get to see my armies that I've been meaning to do for a long time, getting them back out into the battlefield. It's going to be a lot fairer as well. You're going to see a lot more equality there with the armies that are being used, not just all one particular army being used, but more of a spread, and a chance to see some matchups that we've never seen before on the channel as well. I mean, for example, I've been thinking about Harlequins. Harlequins against any of the other factions is going to be great fun. You know, Harlequins against Blood Angels, amazing game. Harlequins against the Thousand Sons, great fun. Harlequins against Tyranids, the Admech, the Orcs, all of those games, and maybe they could take on the Tau. You never know, they could cause trouble for them. But that'd be a great army to bring onto the channel, great variety to have. So that's the plan then, to have a nice variety of a league, a lot fairer. We'll cap the league at either 2 or 3 games maximum per faction. So the faction plays 2 or 3 games, I'm not sure which, but we'll work it out as we go along. But once they reach that level, that's it. We'll then have to go on and get other factions, and then it's a fair representation then for all of the factions. So every battle will be important, every victory will be so important if it's a less amount of games to be played. So I mean, that means that if we cap it at say 2 or 3 games, not sure which yet, 2 or 3 games for the factions, it means we're going to spread out and cover all the factions. They're all going to get a chance, and all the factions have an equal chance of getting through to the last 8 or the last 16 with a chance to go through to the final. So I think it's a lot fairer. It means that armies going to have an equal chance of trying to get through. It makes me finish off projects as well, and it will create a nice lot of variety for our battles as well. So I think that's a good move ahead, and it's quite unique what we're doing here with this league. The other thing to say with the league is it'll be myself and James, and we hope to have 2 other players as well. Aaron Allen, who was in the final for season 7, he'll use 2 armies. He plans to, his Death Guard and Death Watch Space Marines, and then Tom Covey as well, which is he's featured a good few times in our games, especially on the Plus channel. But we'll hopefully get him into the league as well. He runs Red Scorpions, and then he has Adeptus Custodes, and the army's up and running, and then he's working on the brand new Sisters of Battle as well. Apparently he's going to submit an army of those as well, so even more variety for the league. So that's pretty much it. Just for the Plus channel, I lumped this in here just for those who are on the Plus channel. The apps are coming along well. They're at the developmental stage. For Android, it's at the testing stage, so it's going to be tested soon to make sure it's running smoothly, and then once that's available I'll make an announcement about that. But if you're not on the Plus channel already, gone onto a better website, and apps we hope to will be a feature, working on ones for Android and then iOS as well, for those using iPhones and so on. And apps are a fantastic way to engage with video streaming sites and content. So as soon as that's available, it's exciting now because it's getting towards the end stage here for these, but I'll make an announcement about the apps when they become available. I've started to make the videos downloadable on the Plus channel, so that means that you can download when you're online, and if you find yourself offline at some point, so you're on an aeroplane somewhere or whatever situation you're in or traveling, then you can then watch the videos because you've downloaded them. So you'll find on the new videos coming through, they're all downloadable, so you can watch them whenever's convenient for you. And then avatars as well are available now. You can change your icon on the channel from the standard that you get on the website over to an image of your choice. That's available now as well. So some great improvements as the Plus channel develops. And then the way the Plus channel works are going to stick to the same format as in previous seasons. So half of the season battle reports, season 8 battle reports, will be on YouTube for everyone to watch, and then the other half will be on the Plus channel. So it'll be a split 50-50 roughly between the two. So if you want to see the entire league, all the games and all of the victories and defeats and so on, all the drama that takes place, then check out the Plus channel and subscribe to that. It's 14-day free trial still running for that. There's monthly subscription plan, or you can go for a yearly, which gives you a better deal as well. So that's just giving you an idea of what's going on YouTube and on the Plus channel. I'll mention James's 2 armies here as we go through his faction update. Ultramarines and Astra Militarum. James has tons of models, and he'll be fully available for those 2 armies for chapter approved, no problem at all. And he's working on some new units, especially for his Ultramarines at the moment. So those 2 armies will be ready to go as the season begins. So I think I have all my codexes here, present and correct, except one, and that's the secret project. Secret project number 2. That's coming along quite well. I've got some new models for that and plan to expand that army out, and do hope to have it feature in season 8. Until that army's finished, the battles for them will be over on the Plus channel, and then once the army's ready, it will be announced on YouTube the same kind of way that I did with the Thousand Sons. That was the first secret project for the Plus channel. That's now complete. Thousand Sons are for everyone to see. The second secret army is on the Plus channel for now. So here we go. first time in the Tower Empire. They won the league, are doing well. I've got a chapter approved 2019 list done. Doesn't involve any new models, so they are ready for war. That's the first army that's ready to go for the new season. I may try and hold off some games with them because I ended the season with the Tau. Not sure if I want to start the season with the Tau, but they're the army to beat, so that's the standard to try and reach here. And keep an eye on these, see if anyone can beat them, because their list has just got a little bit stronger now with the points reductions. Even for the Tau, they took some points reductions for Chapter Approved 2019, and I've pretty much kept the list and then just enhanced it with the spare points, bringing in some extra models. So on the Plus channel, I'm running a series called Army Adjustment. I take 2 of the factions that don't need a major overhaul, just with Chapter Approved, just to talk about the points reductions and increases, and then propose adjustments to those 2 factions. Tau have been covered, pretty happy with their list, and that's the benchmark for the other factions to try and reach. Next, in no particular order here, is the Blood Angels. So obviously with their new Blood of Baal Psychic Awakening book that's come out, the situation that they are in is a new list proposed over on the Plus channel and fully adjusted for Chapter Approved. Involves painting up 16 models. Should be okay, so I don't think it's going to be too much of a hold up with the Blood Angels. They got a point to prove going into the new season. They took some nasty defeats here and some narrow defeats as well. There was games where it came close but they lost, and their tally wasn't too good last season, so they have a point to prove and some revenge to take out on different factions they come up against. Still one of my favourite armies. Love the colour scheme for the Blood Angels, love the models, so I hope to feature those in the new season coming up. Next is the Necrons. Again, just made an army adjustment video for them. The army adjustment was these 2, the latest one that's come out, Blood Angels and Necrons. So I adjusted the list for them, and then some adjustments made for the Necrons. This is one of the reasons why I want to change the league around. Necrons didn't play many league games, but they did perform very, very well. And it's a shame they didn't get a chance to go for the title, because other factions have rushed ahead, and so hopefully this is quite a not a conventional Necron list, but it's been solid enough. It's been updated. I got 10 models to finish painting, and they're ready. So Necrons should be ready very soon, so they can crash into the league, and it'll be the best chance on this season to make an attempt at trying to go for the title. And I think they're good enough to go far. Next is Harlequins, an army that I'm still excited about after a couple of years of proposing that I would collect these. But they've been on the back burner, tragically. But over the holiday period, I virtually built the entire army. So I've all of a sudden made a massive leap here. And I've now gone onto the stage of, I've made a Chapter Approved proposed list. The list is ready, set. I doubt it's going to change, so very happy with that. So that's all lined up. I've virtually built the entire army, just a few bikers to finish off. And then some of the models are already painted as well, which is good. And then I hope to hit these on the painting desk soon. Also, at the moment, I've just undercoated and sprayed one of the transports, and I'm going to do an experimental painting scheme with these. I hope to paint them the colour scheme you see here, Midnight Sorrow, but experimenting with an efficient way to paint them, because that's been one of the barriers to try and cross, and for others that I no doubt want to collect Harlequins, it's that painting barrier. They're difficult because of all the patterns and so on. You want to do them justice, so I'm trying to work on a painting technique that works for me, and then I can turn it into painting tutorials to help everyone out as well. So I think if you see a couple of decent painting tutorials and you're able to follow them along, it could help give you the push to go ahead and collect these. They look an extremely fun army to paint, dazzling on the battlefield, and it'd be great to see them up against the different factions. So the plan with those is to paint away, and then when I've got a good technique running, I hope to make a painting tutorial for YouTube, a regular one, maybe paint one of the troops, and then do an in-depth painting tutorial, one of the vehicles, hopefully one of the bigger, more difficult projects, and then turn that into an in-depth painting tutorial for the Plus channel. So exciting times for Harlequins. Again, this is this league that's given me the incentive to get these on the table as soon as possible. If I keep putting them off or do little bits here and there, it's never going to happen. So I know I need to commit some time to these. I don't want to put on like a small army and then take loads of allies. I want a pure Harlequin army at 2,000 points. So going to be busy for sure. Then next one, Imperial Fists. So Imperial Fists, with these, the army is, I feel the army is struggling. It's a bit dry, a bit stale at this stage. I've proposed a new list on the Plus channel, which is an improvement, but still not entirely settled on the direction to go with these. It's a classic Marine army, but it does need updating. So I know I need to make some adjustments with these, so I hope to make some improvements with the Imperial Fists, but not entirely set on a list yet, so I've got to work on them. So that may well be something that's midway through the season you start to see the Imperial Fists make a comeback. I don't want to submit a weak army and then it just gets blown away and then get depressed. I want to get an army that's refreshed and stands a good chance. So that's the plan with the Imperial Fists. Next is just regular Space Marines. This will be the Red Scorpions. I have some new units, the Red Scorpions, on the painting desk at the moment, so I hope to expand and get those up and running. It's a very straightforward painting scheme, pretty quick as well. That painting tutorial for the Red Scorpions is on YouTube if you want to check that out, but it's very straightforward, and so should be able to get a decent force up and running for those soon. Gradually expand that Primaris collection. Next is the Space Wars. If you checked out the unboxing video, I've got a few new characters. The Iron Priest and Ulrich the Slayer. Hope to add those few characters in. Haven't updated these yet for chapter approve. Hope to do that soon. And hopefully just a few characters, a few changes around. This is the Siege Studios commission army. I hope to get them up and running without too many changes and need to paint new models. So hopefully they'll be available soon enough. And again, this is a faction with a point to prove. Didn't play as many games last season, and so it'd be great to see them up against who knows who. There's all sorts of different combinations we can do, with Aaron, Johnny, Ian and James and Tom. Then hopefully it'll be a nice variety and see some great combinations. There's one that we need to do, which is Thousand Suns versus Space Wolves, and so that has to happen at some point. That's the other thing about the league. I don't want to do a straight draw where one army's ready and the other one's not painted. Nightmare. So what I want to do is as armies filter through, just line them up, let them fight, and just keep that rolling. And then we'll get more of a pure draw at the knockout stage, at the mid or 2/3 of the way through the season. That's the idea. Imperial Knights. Again, if you saw the update video or the unboxing video for my new order that's come through, I've ordered Canis Rex here to push the Imperial Knights on. That army is about half done, if not just over halfway finished. So a few new units to add to that, and they'll be ready. Canis Rex will help push the army towards the sort of 3/4 stage, and that may well make them battle ready if they take maybe a small allied detachment. Then Imperial Knights are ready to go. It'd be great to see them striding across the battlefield. And again, didn't play too many games of those, so it'd be good to see them on the battlefield. Next is the Tyranids. Again, if you saw the unboxing video, I've got a Swarm Lord, amazing model. I've got a big collection of Tyranids, and so I don't need to really get loads and loads of new models, just an odd one here and there, and then change the shape around here, just constantly adapting and changing with the Tyranids. And so I've got an idea for a list, proposed it on the Plus channel, but still not totally settled on the way to go. I don't want to copy and paste, the most popular list or most successful list for the Tyranids. And same with any of the factions. I want to develop something that's quite unique. It's fun to watch and still pretty potent at the same time. So keep a lookout for them. But I can assemble an army of those pretty fast. and if I need new units, I can paint them up pretty quick because it's a very fast painting technique as well. And again, it's a paint tutorial for them on the channel. Just keep a lookout for the Tyranids. Next is the Thousand Suns, one of the most enjoyable armies to use. I love the whole theme going on. Very, very unique list. They played a few league games and then feature quite a lot in the Challenge the Scorpion games as well, and they've performed well. So I've got an idea of how I'm going to adjust these. I'm going to keep the list, the units I have. There's been some points reductions, and I have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to add to the Thousand Suns here. But just a little bit on standby with these at the moment because of the new book that's coming out for Psychic Awakening, just to see the models and rules and so on. But I think I've got a pretty good idea of the direction I'm going to go with the Thousand Suns. And it's been a great feature on the channel. It's been great to have this Chaos Legion fighting against the different armies. Next is the Orcs. So a list that's performed well. They played the most games out of any of the factions on the channel last year, but that should be cut right down now to either 2 or 3 games. So we're going to go careful with the Orcs and try and get a good list up and running. Got a nice sized collection, so I can draw on some different resources to put a list together for them. But I've got to be careful. Some units have gone into Legend now, and so I've got to make sure I get a list together that's correct. And I reckon we'll see about adding new units. I'm not sure if these. I might be able to put an army together and just use it immediately. But that'll be forthcoming on the Plus channel, a new proposed list, an updated list for the Orcs chapter approved 2019. Next is the Drukhari, which is an army that's been shelved for quite a while. I've played a good few games with them on the Plus channel, just experimenting with them and so on. And those games really got me fired up to use Drukhari again. Proposed a variety of lists, or a number of lists, that have gradually been tweaked to get a finalised list, which I think is a great spread and great variety. Nice symmetry going on. Good spread of units, and I think it's a strong enough list as well. And so I have models that I'm painting at the moment for these, and I hope to try and get these up and running as fast as possible and get them into games for the new season as well. But exciting times with Drukhari. Good to see them making a comeback and to have them burst, especially back onto YouTube, and to start raiding all over the place, causing havoc. And then last but not least is the Adeptus Mechanicus. Performed well last season, a good few games from them, but couldn't stop the Tau, and so they finished 4th really. Eldar finished 3rd, but let me just mention the Eldar as well, just don't forget them. But finished with the Admech. They done well. Then they've taken a serious points reduction. I proposed a new list for them over on the Plus channel, and it's an exciting developments with these, and you can see the new units or new boxes of stuff that I've got for them in the unboxing video that's already live on the channel. But shouldn't be too much effort to get those updated and back out ready for war as soon as possible. So that's the Adeptus Mechanicus. The last one's the Eldar. Not sure what the codex is for them, but Eldar have done well. It's a very unique list that I have for them. I reckon I'm going to go for a refresh with the Eldar and change the list around. Keep some of the units that have done well, but there is some need for change with the Eldar. And with chapter approved, there's been some points changes and so on, and so I may well try and bring back some of the units that I haven't used for a good while and see what I can come up with for the Eldar. But that's a future proposition. I have to keep a lookout for the update with them. So it's all sorts going on here at the moment. With the channel, lots to be working on. Some armies that have been shelved for a while and neglected, just the way we were running the league before. We'll hope to change all that around and to get a good spread and a good representation of the different factions on the channel. And that means it's more enjoyable for me with my painting. You know, I get to paint a variety of stuff. It's equal treatment for all of these factions. They all deserve, I think, to have a chance. And for you guys as well watching, should be a lot more enjoyable to see a lot more variety. You know, it's not like, oh no, it's another Orc game. You know that it's going to be capped, and you can look forward to some great variety as the season progresses, both here on YouTube and over on the Plus channel as well. So that's all the factions updated. for you, just to give you an idea of what's going on. If you want to see progress with the painting, check out Instagram. Remember the YouTube community page as well. I'll be asking questions and interacting with people on that platform as well. That's the YouTube community page. When the videos come out, please like, subscribe, and share the videos. It really helps. Also, and then keep a lookout for more Apocalypse. Do have more planned in the future. So there's that to look forward to. And we look forward to planning and playing some more of those narrative style games. And then for the Plus channel, there's apps to come in the near future, all being well. As well, the videos are downloadable, and so you can watch them on the go as well. But that's the update then for YouTube and the Plus channel. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time.